The historic Foxborough Stadium in Boston erupted into complete chaos during the opening night of BTS's highly anticipated world tour return. Fans had already spent hours braving the chilly New England air, packing the massive venue to its absolute capacity. Long before the show was scheduled to begin, the air was charged with an electric sense of anticipation, filled with the vibrant, purple glow of thousands of light sticks swaying in, synchronized excitement. Nobody in attendance could have fully predicted the jaw-dropping surprise that the group had secretly prepared for this iconic opening performance. As the energetic full-group opening numbers wound down, a heavy, dramatic hush suddenly washed over the massive stadium. The bright, pulsating stage lights faded into a subtle, moody deep blue, focusing a pair of brilliant spotlights directly on the center stage. Soft, sweeping orchestral chords began to echo through the stadium's powerful sound system, signaling a dramatic and unexpected shift in the concert's musical dynamic. The audience collectively held its breath as two distinct figures slowly emerged from the rising stage mist, dressed in flowing, ethereal white silk attire. Jimin and Jungkook stood side by side, taking their positions with the unmistakable grace and poise of professional, classical dancers. Without a single word of introduction, the duo launched into a breathtaking, full-scale ballet performance that instantly mesmerized every single person present. Their movements were executed with astonishing precision, blending classic, high-level ballet technique with the dramatic intensity of contemporary dance. Every leap, extension, and turn seemed perfectly calibrated to express a deeply emotional narrative, leaving the audience utterly spellbound from the very first note. Jimin lightened up the stage with his trademark weightless leaps and fluid, continuous arm movements, appearing to literally float across the platform. His extensive background in modern dance and classical technique shone brightly as he executed breathtaking pirouettes and seamless extensions with effortless elegance. His facial expressions carried a poignant intensity, drawing the eyes of tens of thousands of fans directly into his every movement. Each gesture felt deeply deliberate, radiating an artistic maturity that completely elevated the atmosphere of the entire stadium. Jungkook matched his bandmates' artistic intensity with impressive physical strength, incredible stability, and flawless form throughout the entire routine. Known primarily for his powerful, high-energy pop choreography, his sudden display of refined ballet skill took the crowd entirely by surprise. He executed challenging turns and controlled landings with remarkable control, demonstrating the immense dedication and endless hours of training he had invested into mastering the delicate genre. His raw power balanced Jimin's aerial fluidity, creating a dynamic harmony that felt both fierce and deeply delicate. The peak of the performance arrived during a sweeping musical crescendo, where the two members performed a complex, fully synchronized sequence across the expansive stage. They moved in perfect unison, their shadows stretching dramatically across the towering LED screens behind them. The sheer technical difficulty of performing high-level ballet on a massive open-air stadium stage was completely disguised by their undeniable chemistry and confidence. It was a breathtaking display of artistic partnership, showcasing a depth of creative expression that transcended standard pop concert performances. The moment the final note faded into silence and the duo struck their elegant closing pose, the quiet awe that had held the stadium captive completely shattered. The crowd unleashed a deafening roar that shook the very foundation of the Foxborough venue, reverberating across the surrounding city. Screams, wild cheers, and emotional outbursts filled the night air as fans leaped from their seats to shower the performers with an overwhelming standing ovation. The sheer volume of the reaction created an unforgettable soundscape that cemented the moment in concert history. Social media platforms instantly exploded with thousands of fan-recorded videos capturing the stunning ballet sequence from every conceivable angle within the venue. Within minutes, clips of the unexpected duet dominated global trending topics, with fans and professional dance critics alike praising their extraordinary technical skill and brave artistic choice. Many longtime followers noted that, while both artists had previously shown glimpses of classical influence, seeing a fully realized ballet piece in a giant American football stadium was an unprecedented milestone. The powerful moment proved to be the absolute highlight of the concert, setting an incredibly high artistic bar for the remainder of their tour. It demonstrated the group's continuous drive to push boundaries, reinvent their performance style, and surprise even their most dedicated followers after years at the top of the music industry. The unexpected fusion of classical dance artistry and stadium-scale pop entertainment demonstrated a level of creative ambition that very few global acts would ever dare to attempt on such a massive scale. Long after the stadium, lights finally flickered off and the vast crowds began their slow exit into the Boston night. The magic of the performance lingered in the air. Fans continued to chant, sing, and discuss the unforgettable ballet routine on their way back to their cars and public transit. First-night concert-goers left Foxborough knowing they had witnessed a rare, truly historic piece of performance art, establishing a legendary standard for the rest of the tour. The atmosphere inside Foxborough Stadium quickly shifted from high-energy excitement to a collective, tearful awe as the emotional weight of the ballet performance hit the audience. For thousands of fans who had traveled from all over the world, seeing Jimin and Jungkook share such a vulnerable, artistic moment on stage proved to be an overwhelming experience. Many in the crowd were seen clinging to one another, completely overcome with emotion as the sweeping melody paired with the members' effortless grace. The sheer intimacy of the performance transformed the massive football stadium into a close-knit, deeply personal space shared between the artists and their devoted followers. For longtime armies, the routine felt like a powerful full-circle moment that honored both members' artistic growth over the years. Fans who had followed Jimin since his early days studying modern dance at the Busan High School of Arts wept openly, witnessing how he seamlessly brought his classical roots to one of North America's largest venues. Meanwhile, seeing Jungkook step so far out of his comfort zone to master such a demanding discipline left the crowd in absolute reverence. The deep mutual trust displayed between the two performers on stage served as a vivid reminder of the unbreakable bond that has defined the group's journey for over a decade. As the final note echoed through the night air, a wave of collective weeping gave way to an explosive, deafening roar that shook the entire complex. Light sticks were held high, illuminating the darkness in an ocean of vibrant purple lights that swayed in rhythm with the crowd's emotional chants. Fans stomped their feet and cheered until their voices turned hoarse, desperate to let the members know just how deeply the performance had touched their hearts. It was a rare moment where the barrier between superstar performers and their audience completely dissolved, replaced by a shared feeling of pure, unfiltered gratitude. Outside the gates after the final encore, the emotional high showed no signs of fading as emotional concert-goers gathered to process what they had just witnessed. Groups of fans sat on the concourse pavement, replaying shaky phone recordings of the duet and pointing out subtle details in their choreography with tear-filled eyes. Strangers bonded instantly over their shared shock, hugging one another and sharing stories of how much the unexpected performance meant to them. The air was filled with a sense of collective euphoria, as everyone recognized they had just taken part in a once-in-a-lifetime musical event. By the time the last shuttle buses departed Foxborough into the cold Boston night, the consensus among the tired yet ecstatic crowd was unanimous. The raw vulnerability and artistic ambition displayed by Jimin and Jungkook had elevated the concert from a standard pop show into an unforgettable masterclass in performance art. Fans left the venue feeling profoundly moved, carrying the memory of that magical ballet duet as a badge of honor for being there to witness history on night one. The music chosen for the mesmerizing duet was an exclusive, original orchestral composition created specifically for the tour's opening night. Rather than relying on a standard track, the performance featured a custom-built score that seamlessly blended grand, classical arrangements with subtle, haunting motifs from BTS's iconic discography. The arrangement was recorded in secret with a world-class symphony orchestra, resulting in a rich, cinematic tapestry of sound that filled every corner of Foxborough Stadium with immense emotional weight. The piece opened with a brand new instrumental prelude, led by a melancholic solo cello and sweeping violins that immediately established a delicate, somber mood. As the light slowly bathed the stage in deep blue, the music began to weave in soft, unmistakable melodies from BTS's critically acclaimed hit Black Swan. The familiar notes were transformed into a lush, classical movement, allowing the classical elegance of the original song to take center stage in a way fans had never heard before. As the tempo gradually built, the arrangement organically transitioned into a dramatic orchestral interpretation of Spring Day, symbolizing themes of longing, reunion, and emotional endurance. The woodwinds and grand piano took over the main theme, echoing the emotional journey of both artists and their fans throughout the years. Hearing two of the group's most emotionally resonant songs reimagined through full symphonic instrumentation brought tears to the eyes of thousands across the venue. The middle movement of the piece featured a brand new instrumental bridge designed specifically to complement the pair's high-level ballet choreography. Tailored to the precise timing of their leaps, pirouettes, and synchronized extensions, the music rose into a soaring, dramatic crescendo driven by thunderous timpani and powerful string sections. This custom section allowed Jimin and Jungkook to push their physical expression to the absolute limit, matching the dynamic intensity of the live orchestral score. In its final moments, the composition dissolved back into a gentle, lingering piano solo that accompanied the duo's final breathless pose on stage. The choice to combine custom, orchestral work with their own musical legacy turned the dance into a deeply personal narrative rather than a simple visual spectacle. By honoring their musical roots through classical art, the custom score elevated the performance into one of the most unforgettable musical moments in stadium history.